Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm WoWcrendor and welcome back to me at nighttime flying around WoW and listening to the ambient noises. Enough people, actually a lot of people, really enjoyed my last episode where I flew around the Arathi Highlands. I also called the Arathi Highlands Arathi Basin. So sorry about that one, but whatever. I decided, you know what, let's make another one. And let's go to Stranglethorn. So I'm starting out here on the beach. And I decided I'd call this show Ambient Rambles. Because we just got some nice ambient background noise. And I'm rambling. And I really like the name Ambient Rambles. It just sounded cool. So that's what I'm going to call this. And as long as people keep liking them, I'll keep making them because these are really nice and relaxing to do for me as well. Also, I heard people said I raised my voice a bit too much last time, so I'm trying to talk a little bit lower. I'm not gonna go crazy with it or anything like, oh, everybody. I'm not gonna whisper. So yeah. What do I want to ramble about right now? I don't even think this through. What do I want to ramble about? Maybe we'll just find something here. Kind of like this tree. This tree almost looks like it has dragon scales. Isn't that a cool looking tree? That legit just looks like a dragon scale tree. Maybe that's what they were going for with it. And there's this plant. The plant looks like a butterfly wing. So we almost have like a dragon scale and a butterfly wing and a motorcycle going by outside at 1 a.m. What a treat. I've always just enjoyed Stranglethorn as one of my favorite zones as well. I know I always talk about Arathi Highlands, but Stranglethorn is actually one of my top probably 5 to 10 zones. You know what? I actually made a pointless top 10 about my top 10 favorite zones, and I completely forgot about that. So if you're actually interested, you can go check that out. I'm probably going to check that out as well, so I can find more of my favorite zones that I've forgotten about. You might just be like, how do you forget your favorite zones? You even made a list of them. And I don't know. I just did. I'll have to refresh my memory. I'm getting old, dude. I'm not getting old. That's alright, there's our first topic. Everyone says that. Everyone that's 20, probably 20, maybe 21 to 30 years old is always I'm just getting really old, dude. And I'm no, we're not. Maybe from our perspective we're getting old, but there's people that are 80, 90, 100. That's old. People that have lived 4 times as long as us. And we're acting like we feel old. Shit, dude. These people have lived through world wars. Damn. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's something that I saw a video. I think it was a College Humor video that made fun of that too. They're just God, we're so old. It's no, we're not. It just feels old. I feel old when I play World of Warcraft because from the perspective of World of Warcraft, I am old in it, right? Because I've played Vanilla WoW pretty much since it launched. Maybe 2 months after, but I've played every expansion, played all of Vanilla WoW, so I feel like I'm old when I play WoW, but that's how I assume old people feel. And now I kind of get what they why they always are we need to make this country great again. Trump, when he says that, he's speaking to those people. He's reaching out to their nostalgia, right? Now, I'm not endorsing Trump. I'm not this is why Trump, he's doing that's one thing he's doing that's smart. He does many things that aren't smart. I'm not going to go political with this. Oh, I don't want to go over there. Turn back around. Oh, I know what I'll talk about. I had a great idea for an app. So we're at a coffee place, and I was just like listening around, right? And there's apps that'll do like ambient coffee noise. You know what I'm saying? Like the chitter chatter of a coffee shop or just anywhere for that matter, and it just sounds like jumbles of people talking, like blah 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 blah. But like 10 of those, or 20 or 30. And I thought, what if there was an app that allowed you to share your conversations you were having? And at first I told my friend, and he was like, that seems like you're spying on people. And I was like, no, because hear me out. The person would consent to sharing their conversation, right? It would be through their phone. They'd be like, hey, we're not going to talk about anything like personal or crazy, but I know there's a lot of people, like ASMR people, that enjoy just listening to a conversation. And it doesn't matter if they know who the people are, right? They just want to listen to a conversation. So there's a lot of times where I'll listen to other people like in places and their conversations, and really I don't care. But it's just fascinating to hear these people's stories and hear what they're doing and hear what other people are doing, which is essentially kind of what we do on YouTube. But I thought, how cool would it be if someone had an app where they could say like, hey, we're gonna broadcast our conversation to, I don't know, what would it be called? What would I call this app? Maybe like group or listen in or something. I don't know. I'm just making it up as I go along here. Ooh, this is a nice like little fire thing. And you could be like, so what do you think about Jason? Be like, Jason, he's a cool guy. We're gonna go skiing. Like, oh, you've been skiing a lot, and like, right, things that don't really matter. You don't know these people. You don't know Jason. You don't know anything that's going on, but you're just getting to listen in on humans interacting. And it could be from like anywhere, right? Maybe it even limited the regions you would interact with, so you couldn't get anyone from your local areas. That way you wouldn't be able to like find your coworkers or something. Like, it would be strictly people outside of your local area. I don't know. I just really enjoy listening to conversations, even if I don't know anything about them. And that's my whole point. And that's why I think a lot of people like ASMR, or like what I'm doing right now, is just talking, giving my opinions. It's essentially the same thing, but it's almost like fishing with Crendor in a way. But if it would be fishing with two random people, strictly for the purpose of falling asleep or relaxing. So that was just an idea I had. Now I'm glad I made this show, because it allowed me to like ramble about that. I'm sure someone's like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But you know what? I'd listen into that app. I heard the crickets, right? You always hear crickets at night. Why are crickets like the only bug or insect or just animal you can really hear at night? I guess you can hear more animals if you're in like Africa, in the savannah. You hear like hyenas and things that probably will scare you. But for like around here, I think typically you only hear crickets. That's the stereotypical sound of nighttime, right? If you should leave in the comments below what you hear at nighttime. I'm curious, like, say what like country or state or wherever you're from, and be like, this is what I hear at nighttime. I hear crickets, and I hear something else. If it's not nighttime right now, wait until nighttime, go outside, and just listen for like 5 minutes, and then be like, this is what I hear. I think that'd be really interesting. I'd be curious to hear what people have to say, and don't be like, I hear like bears, or unless you actually hear bears, in which case that'd be really creepy. because there's a bear really close to you. You should probably get away. But I'm saying don't make up stuff. I want to know like real, what's outside, what's making noise. It could even be like my neighbor, John. He's playing the radio. Like, it could be your neighbors. It could be, whatever you hear outside. I want to know. Cars going by. Anything. Okay. But my whole point, that wasn't even my main point. My point was, what if, I know there's been like a few mass extinctions, I can't even say that word, throughout history. And what if there is a bug that made crazy noise at nighttime? Like, what if there was a super cricket and it like made a noise so loud it was like 20 times louder than this, and it's just really annoying? It's kind of like cicadas. Aren't the cicadas supposed to like rise up this year or something? It's like every 17 years, I think. Because I remember the last time it happened and they were all over. So that'll be fun. But cicadas are pretty loud now that I think about it. But they're usually during the day. Huh. Oh, wow. Look at these old WoW herbs. It's just kind of weird looking, and yet... almost... Hold on. I was looking at it from this way, and it kind of looked like a mumbo-jumbo skull. Or even like a weird pig with red eyes. Look at that. Do you see the pig with red eyes? That's kind of cool. This is someone... Someone was like, you should do this for WoWcrendor, and I was like, that's actually a pretty good idea. But then I thought about it, and I was like, I really like keeping this as a type of thing for just rambling, because I think it's easier to fall asleep to rambling. I actually fall asleep to Coast to Coast AM. Hold on, let me drink water. Coast to Coast AM. If you haven't listened to me and Jesse's podcast, then you're missing out. For one, WoWcrendor in the morning. We only do like one episode a month now, but it's mainly, listen, I say it time and time again, it's mainly on him. He travels a lot. He works way too much. I'm always here. I could do an episode a day, but getting the Cox to do anything is quite a tricky situation. So I kind of just wait for him every once in a while. I'm like, hey, you want to do a podcast? And he's like, yeah. Then we do a podcast. So, speaking of which, we have our monthly meetup thing happening. Those are always fun. Well, how did I get here again? Oh yeah, Coast to Coast AM. So we always bring up Coast to Coast AM because back when I first met Jesse, we discovered Coast to Coast AM on late night radio when we were driving around Los Angeles, and it was a show where they brought up weird topics like aliens and conspiracy theories, just like all that type of stuff, right? Stuff you can probably find on YouTube, but they really go in deep with it. They bring on authors, they bring on guests, and they take call-ins, and the people that call in are some of the like craziest people, and I love it. And at first I used to listen to the call-ins when I'd fall asleep, but that was always a little too interesting for me. So I've started just listening to the actual show to fall asleep, and I fall asleep very fast. They'll be like, today there's one guy, he actually has a voice a little deeper than mine, and he's just like, today on Coast to Coast AM, we're going to be taking a listen into the 7 wonders of Atlantis and how aliens set up all of this to create World War I. Like, that type of shit, and you're just like, oh shit, dude. But then sometimes you actually get some stuff that's pretty interesting. Like, George Carlin's daughter was on it the other night, and she was just talking about life with George Carlin. And him being her dad. So that was kind of cool. So sometimes you do get some interesting stuff. And yeah, I'd definitely check that out. is check out like what local radio station it comes on at night. It usually starts at midnight and goes till like 4 or 5 a.m. So definitely check that out if you're into that type of stuff or enjoy good falling asleep material. However, I hope I provide that instead. And speaking of which, it's been about 15 minutes. I don't want these to be too long. So thank you for listening. And if you want to request a zone, you can do that in the comments as well, or on Twitter, or, whatever. So thank you for listening. And yeah. Okay. See ya.